Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. This episode is called How to Make Millions by Stealing Your Competitors' Customers. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, comment, and follow us. Also, I'd like to tell you about a service called HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's a great service that allows you to purchase live phone calls from your favorite celebrities, so check them out. You can purchase a live 15-second call for $19.95, or you can get a live 30-second call for $29.95. There are more than 100 celebrities to choose from, so give it a try. HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now, let's get started. The marketplace is now flooded with courses, classes, techniques, and videos with people showing you how to start a company, how to grow a company. Each one of them telling you that you too can start your own company, grow your own company, save your company, change your company, or improve it if you listen to them. There are so many people desperately trying to sell you their latest technique or course or video that the marketplace is overrun. It's saturated with this sort of thing. But one thing none of them talk about is the secret technique that most company founders use to really start their companies. A technique that allowed them to hit the ground running and to dramatically increase the odds of their new company succeeding. It's a technique that shifts the odds in your favor and immediately cripples what your competition would have done by stripping them of some advantages. So, what's amazing about this technique is how well the secret has been kept, despite how commonly it has been used in the past and continues to be used today. I think the reason for that is that each company founder who has used it likes to engage in a bit of revisionist history by making the public believe that it was their hard work that allowed them to succeed when few others could. That's usually an enormous lie. So what is this technique and how is it done? The technique is very simple. It's called stealing your competitors' customers. And that's how many new company founders begin. They will steal an idea or a major customer from one of their competitors, and then they will use that customer to generate the money for their new startup's cash flow. Now, most of these company founders will deny this, but believe me, it's true. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how do these people do it? How do they steal someone's clients and use them to start their own companies? That sounds incredible. Well, it can be done in a lot of ways. Let's say you're a big company with many enormous clients that generate the kind of fees that really impact your bottom line. What they can do is they will take some of your account executives out for dinner, secretly take them out for dinner, and buy them drinks, and they'll give them the following pitch. Wait till you hear this. They'll say, look, you've been working for the last 7 or 8 years for this company, and the clients you've acquired for them generate a fortune each quarter for them. They may acknowledge that you're responsible for bringing in $20 million a quarter into their business, and for that, they're going to reward you by paying $300,000 a year plus bonuses. So let's do the math here. You give them about $80 million this year and probably $90 million next year in sales, and they give you what? $300,000, which after taxes ends up being about $200K a year or about $3,500 a week. Then they will pull out their phone and say something like, let me show you something. The first picture they'll show you on the phone is a picture of your house. Typically, for a really successful account rep, it can be, depending on the part of the country you live in, it can be an $800,000 house in the suburbs somewhere. Then the guy will say, let me show you a photo of your CEO's house. Now, this house was bought for $7.5 million. Then they'll show you another picture of your CEO's private plane. It costs $1 million a week to fly around the country. Then they'll show you another picture of the last place your CEO flew his company plane to, and he'll say something like the following. Last Sunday, your CEO flew this plane down to Florida so that he could play golf with his mistress. They were down there for a total of 5 hours before he had to rush back home to his wife. The cost of that single flight and 5 hour adventure, $120,000. And then he'll begin dropping logic bombs on you. They'll say something like, the most valuable individual in your company, in any company, is the person who generates the most wealth or value for that company. And you know what? That's you. Yet you're not getting paid anywhere near what your CEO is getting. In fact, he purchases watches that cost more than your entire annual salary and bonus. Then he'll show you another photo of another account representative who's a friend of yours who works with you at your company. And he'll say, "Do you recognize Jim here in the photo?" And you'll nod yes. Jim is an account rep just like you, and he works for the same company you do. Do you know that Jim's sales numbers were down by 40% this year because he hasn't been focusing hard enough on his job? Do you know why? It's because his daughter has lupus, and he and his wife are spending a lot of time with their daughter's medical issues. Do you know what your company is going to do to Jim? They put him on probation. He has just 3 months to get his sales figures up, or they said they're going to let him go. Are these the people that you want to give your loyalty to? That's when the account rep usually says something like, "What exactly are you guys offering me?" And that's when they offer him a life-altering amount of money to convince his clients to come over to them and become their clients. Now, this happens all the time. People will steal clients and customers over to their company and use those business accounts to fuel their new company's growth. Once this process begins, it starts a feeding frenzy of opportunists stealing your business and your clients away. The really stupid or incompetent CEOs still believe that if they make their people sign confidentiality agreements or non-compete agreements, that this will somehow save their company or their intellectual products or their proprietary services in some way. CEOs like that are operating in a reality delusion field. If confidentiality agreements were worth the paper they were written on, then China never would have been able to steal trillions of dollars of intellectual property from companies all across the globe. If non-disclosures were really worth anything, then you wouldn't see so many companies knocking off the products of their competitors with such blinding speed and efficiency. And those are just the corporations. You won't believe what organized crime groups are doing now with respect to stealing IP and other valuable assets from companies. It's gotten so bad that many companies are getting very reluctant to put too many details in their patent descriptions and filings because they know that that information will immediately be used to steal their products or their ideas and their potential future revenue streams from them. I'll give you another example of this. Everyone knows that the Western United States is struggling with freshwater deficits. There's just not enough water out there. We keep hearing rumors about an unidentified man who has discovered what is the world's largest underground freshwater reservoir. According to the rumors, this reservoir is so large that it would solve all the low water problems of the United States for centuries to come if it was commercialized and exploited. By some estimates, it's rumored that it may be worth many times what the Saudi oil fields are worth, yet the man who discovered it hasn't filed a formal stake for the land it's under because of a very interesting problem. His lawyers have told him that the minute he publicly reveals the location of all this fresh water, then the state or the feds, or possibly both, will exercise eminent domain and take it from him. They will basically steal your water and the trillions of dollars of wealth it represents from you. The rumor is that they've been negotiating for years and neither side is willing to back down, so the location of the water remains a secret and the states suffering from water droughts continue to suffer. That's how common and prevalent the appropriation or theft of assets or intellectual property or clients is now. It's everywhere. In fact, I would venture to say that the technology sector or the pharmaceutical sector are no longer the largest parts of most countries' economies. We believe that the theft of intellectual property is now the largest portion of the GDP for a lot of countries. So now a lot of entrepreneurs who are considering starting a company are asking themselves, how much easier would it be to do this if I just stole some customers from my competitors? And that's how it starts. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and we will talk to you soon.